I'll put all the cameras on because this is our last ride anyways, so it's not like I need to save the footage for anything.
So how much are they now? How much are those pivot heads now?
200.
Okay. Because I'm going to Japan this summer, and I was like, it'd be really nice to take them.
It's just convenient because when you're walking around, you can just take pictures or whatever, and you don't have to pull out your phone and slide and push. You just reach up to your ear and push a button. Boom.
More secretive too.
Yeah. Look at you! That's abuse, man. If you allow your dog to get that fat, it's just abuse, man. Like, the dog can barely walk, and as soon as that dog gets a little bit older, it won't be able to walk. But the guy probably takes pride in the fact that everybody points at his dog and says, oh, it's so fat, it's so cute, oh, look how fat that dog is, oh, hee hee hee. So that's probably like one of the reasons why he keeps it that fat. My dog Xiao Mei, she started getting fat, like it was just obvious. And then sure enough, she started having like arthritic problems. She started like having pain walking, and I took her to the vet, and he's like, well, first off, she has to lose about 7 to 8 pounds, and she's a small dog. So I'm like, okay. So I just cut her food in half, simple as that. That's what you do with a dog. You want them to lose weight, however much food you're giving them now, cut it in half. And then after a couple of months, if they haven't lost a good amount of weight, reduce it again. If you overfeed your dog, if you allow your dog to be fat, it's animal abuse, because there's no, and you know, and the exact fucking same thing should be said for children, because for dogs it's like, it's so fucking easy. Both my dogs, I decided that they both were overweight, so I just reduced their food. I'm just like, I used to give them like a cup each, and then no, it was like a cup for Babao and like a half a cup for Xiao Mei because she's a smaller dog. And then I'm like, okay, they need to lose weight. Half a cup for Babao, 1/4 of a cup for Xiao Mei, and then that's what I gave them twice a day. And then boom, the weight just you know, peels away. Simple as that. Eat less, feed them less. You know, and if it's that easy with a dog, then why would it be any more difficult with a child? You know. And you see these. Oh God, I was at a buffet recently. Absolutely, just fucking ridiculous. It was a mother. And the mother was normal, and then she had a son and daughter, and they were both fat. The daughter was fat, and then the boy was like disgustingly obese fat. He had the largest fucking breasts I've ever seen on a male child, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, they were just fucking like ginormously huge. Like, they were just freakish. I was staring. It's the first time I've ever stared so much at a young boy's chest. Like, it was, because they were just, it's the biggest I've ever, like, the guy was, I don't know, he was probably 10 years old, and he just had these huge, like, breasts, like tits, and they were hanging. And then I'm like, okay, so she's got 2 really fat kids, okay, whatever. The boy's has freakishly huge breasts. You know, take a few pictures for the spank bank. And then later on, I saw the kids, it was a buffet type place, and this buffet place had about 3 or 4 different dessert areas. Like, they had ice cream in a freezer where you slide the glass open, the door open, and you scoop out the ice cream. And then at the back of the place, they had a soft ice cream, like soft ice cream thing. That corner always scares me. I've seen people crash on it multiple times, but just now I said, fuck it, let's try to do it aggressively, and I did okay. The trick is just the biggest trick I find with that corner is just turning your head. You know, like, look where you want to go. You just got to forget about, because if you look straight ahead, it's so scary because it's such a sharp turn angle. But I don't look. If you just turn your head and you look somewhere else, you don't even really know how sharp of a turn you're on, because you can't really see it. But you automatically just go the correct way when you're looking where you look at the exit. Anyways, oh yeah. And then so they had like a soft ice cream cone machine, and then they had hard ice cream where you scooped it out, and then they had a cake area, and then they had something else. And I swear to God, these kids were getting like 2 or 3 helpings from each of those 4 fucking dessert areas. So they were eating the equivalent of between 8 and 12 desserts. Between 8 and 12 desserts. Like me, I'll maybe eat 2 desserts because I'm a thin guy and I really like sweets. I really like chocolates and eating sweet shit. Like the sweeter the better. I eat fucking fudge and brownies on ice cream with chocolate syrup and shit, and then M&Ms and Smarties thrown in, and I'll eat like, you know, I'll eat stuff like Donnie and Brad. They both don't like super sweet. They're like, yeah, that's too sweet. I'm like, nah, there's no such thing as too sweet. Fuck it, load it up. So, but you know, like, so I'll eat like 2 desserts. These kids are eating between 8 and 12, and they're grossly obese to begin with, and their mother's okay with this. Their mother's okay with them, you know, like coming back with an ice cream cone and a fucking bowl of hard ice cream and a plate with fucking 3 cakes on it and, you know, some shit from that other dessert place. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you fucking, what the fuck is wrong with your kids? Are fucking disgusting, and you're allowing them to eat anything they want just because it's a buffet? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, your male son is never, ever, ever, ever going to get laid, except with prostitutes. And even then, they're going to be like, no. They're going to have to, like, argue with their pimp. Whoa. So yeah, it was just like, oh, man. And honest to God, I would have said something. I would have went up to her and been like, I don't think I would have given her the whole speech, the whole speech I just gave you guys, but it would have been like an abbreviated version of what I just said. And I would have, but I was with my wife and kid, and my wife doesn't really like it when I walk up to strangers and tell them how gross their kids are. But I would have done it. And I would have recorded it for you guys too, and you guys would have been like, yeah, go get him. Anyways, so yeah, that's my obese video. Obese children, animal. This all started because I saw a wiener dog. I saw a fat wiener dog. This is what it's like if you actually hang out with me in real life. You know? We're walking along, we see a fat wiener dog, and then I go into a huge fucking 15-minute rant about fat kids. Brad was riding pretty aggressively today, and then he ended up getting his foot down pretty hard. His foot and his foot peg scraped on the pavement on a corner, and it scared him, and he jerked the bike back up, and it kind of wobbled, and by jerking it up, he had a chance of going off the road, because when you're in a corner, like if I'm going hard right, and all of a sudden I jerk it back up, I'm going to go into the oncoming lane. But, yeah, so what is the correct thing to do? If you're in a corner, and all of a sudden your foot starts rubbing against the pavement, you know, your instincts, your gut reaction will, of course, be to quickly stand the bike back up because you're leaning too far, and if you lean any further, the foot peg's going to ground into the pavement, and the bike's going to flip. Yeah, like I said, your gut instinct will be to, like, quickly stand the bike back up to get out of that lane. But to get out of that lane, you're going to go off the road, or there's a chance of it. So the correct answer is to hang your body off more, because as soon as you hang your body off more, your bike becomes more upright, and it'll stop rubbing against the pavement. Like if I just go into a corner and I'm sitting upright straight and the bike starts rubbing against the pavement, if I move my body over, as I move my body over, the bike becomes more upright, and therefore it will stop rubbing against the pavement. And another thing you need to keep in mind is rubbing against the pavement is not the end of the world. There's a lot of guys that will do it on purpose. They'll take whole long ass corners with their muffler or the side of their foot peg just rubbing against the pavement. It's controllable. You can't go, you could probably go even a little, once you start touching the pavement, the rule is you can go a little bit further, but not much. That's a beautiful bike. Yeah, I was telling Brad, like, he was getting, you know, when he got his foot and peg down, I'm like, you know, congratulations, you just achieved a lean angle greater than anything that I've done today, even though I've been getting my knees down a lot. So I said, you know, like, you know, here you are, like, trying to, okay. Oh, that guy missed me. There's like one guy set up to get you right at the apex, and he just happened to be looking at his screen as I came around the corner. He was like checking his camera, and it's like, oh. This is good. This is good. That's a good thing. Most people would think driving on the wrong side of the road around a blind mountain bend would be a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing. I can't explain why. It just is. speed camera on here, but I'm not sure it is. There's a sign there, but I don't know what that means. Yeah, let's stop for 1 second. Stop for 1 second. Just give me a sec. Nothing.